Hey, so the media is still going on about gun control and, you know, firearms and stuff, and they're ranting and raving about that. Every now and then they talk about bombing Syria for, even though we already got a deal on that. Um, uh, and see, in my previous videos, I talked about how we tend to have these diversionary issues. Like, I think, in my opinion, I think the gun issue is a diversionary issue. Um, you know my position. I've ranted about it. I'm pretty much pro gun. Um, uh, yeah, but anyhow, that's kind of irrelevant. Um, this video is basically going to be talking about the complete and total economic failure in this country and the refusal of the media to talk about it. I mean, they talk about it in the sense that you can go online and read articles. In fact, all the mainstream, I guess you call them mainstream news media, have excellent articles, all of them, on these topics. But you have to look them up and search and look for them and read them. They do not talk about them on TV, so the pundits don't talk about these things, which you know, I I can't believe it. Um, so anyhow, in previous videos, I talked about how 47 million Americans are on food stamps. And it's actually kind of difficult to get on food stamps. It's not easy. Your income has to be pretty low to qualify for food stamps. And generally, most of the population on food stamps are elderly people, um, disabled people, and families. Mom and dads, or in a lot of cases just moms, trying to raise children, which is pretty much flipping impossible in the American economy anymore. Um, but anyhow, that's where most of the food stamps goes, and there really isn't much fraud or abuse or waste at all. It's an incredibly efficient program. Um, Providing links for everything I'm saying, all the stuff I'm saying. There's going to be links below. You can read it yourself. Read all the links. Come at me and attack me if you want. Odds are you won't, because I don't have very many viewers. um, but anyhow, another horrifying statistic is 50%, 50% of all births in the United States were under Medicaid. I want you to take that in. 50% of all births in the United States were on Medicaid. All right, so first off, let's explain what Medicaid is. Medicaid is the insurance program for the uber poor. It's designed to give coverage to people who not only can't afford health care coverage, but are probably barely able to afford shelter. Um, Odds are they're homeless. uh, yeah, so it's a program designed to provide health care to the uber poor. Under Obamacare, it's going to be expanded, so more people will become eligible, but of course, this hasn't happened yet, which is another thing to think about here. 50% of all births in the United States right now, without Obamacare, is staggering. It's staggering. Um, it's just staggering. So effectively, 50% of all children born in the United States are born into poverty. Well, let me say that again. 50% of all children born in the United States are born into poverty. How is this not how is CNN not having wall-to-wall coverage of this? I mean, MSNBC is supposed to be liberal. You think they'd be talking about this like nonstop, but think about that. 50%. That's staggering. Wow. I mean, wow. that is a stunning figure. That is stunning to the point of it just like that. Just I mean, that's just economic failure right there. That is just bad. I mean, wow. 47 million Americans on food stamps. 50% of all new births on Medicaid. Wow. When I first heard the figure of 50%, I heard it off of Sam Weber. I guess he's like a liberal talk show host who has a YouTube channel here. He brought it up, and I, I just couldn't believe it because that figure is staggering. I would say a figure of 20 or 15% would be horrific, but 50%, oh come on, that can't be true. So I had to look it up, and again, articles down below. I'm categorizing them to make it convenient. Um, like for fuck's sake, 50%. Um, wow. So that led me to do some research because I have a cursory understanding of the welfare programs in our system. Um, a program that's never talked about is WIC, Women, Infant, and Children. It's a program designed to provide the bare necessities to poor women. Basically, what it does is you get a WIC check. The check will have, it'll say 2 gallons of milk, 1 dozen eggs, a loaf of bread, um, 2 things of juice, that type of thing. It's like the basic, it's like your bare necessities to feed a child. Um, so that's what that program basically does. And I found some links for that. Basically, I went to the actual Women, Infants, Children's website and found their like a spread, well, not a spreadsheet, but their like statement or whatever about what the program is, which I link below. And they talk about how year, decade, how the program has increased um, to again staggering numbers. Um, I mean, the economic situation in this country is very dire, um, which kind of makes you ponder. I mean, why are they talking about disarming a population? So if you have 50% of all children being born into poverty, uh, millions of Americans on food stamps, and the primary goal of the media is just talking about disarming the population. Uh, Congress isn't doing jack shit. In fact, the Republicans keep trying to cut all these programs. So the Republicans keep trying to cut. They want to cut food stamps. They want to cut WIC. I don't know if they actually cut WIC. The article I found is a little dated. Um, they probably did cut WIC. I don't know. I'm not on WIC, so I have no idea. Um, Also not on food stamps, but whatever. I make too much money. Um, but yeah, I mean, God, those numbers are staggering. Um, like, how could that not be in the media? Like, it just seems like it should be. Like, 50% of all new births. Like, wow. Um, so, yeah, and there doesn't seem well, I mean, the government's just screwed up, so they're not going to do anything. And the media is just terrible. Like, these figures should be like ranted and raved about, which is what I'm doing. But I'm just some dude on the internet, whatever. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna leave you all the links below. I mean, these figures are just really bad. I mean, like, I, I, I don't know. Like, they're bad. And all the media is talking about is gun control. When you have 50% of all newborns being born into poverty, and your top priority is gun control, there's something to be said about that. I mean, there's something to be said about that because, wow, I mean, I don't want to be a conspiracy nut here, but when that many people are poor, if you want to maintain power, you need to disarm the population, flat out, like flat out. Um, I mean, just God damn, I can't get. I the figures are so staggering that it's hard for me to get over them. Um, wow, and they want to cut all these programs, Foodstamps, WIC. Um, they want to cut those programs. I mean, like how can you how can you justify it? Um, I mean, something's got to give. Like the government's got to do something, or I don't know. The whole country will just collapse because you just can't have 50% of children born into poverty. I mean, you just can't functionally have that. Um, you just can't have that. I don't know what to say about this. Links below. Uh, please read the links. You know, I'd prefer people read the links over even watching my videos. Um, but yeah, I mean, tell me what you think. Like, wow. All right. Well, whatever. Links